The design of the landfill site is that provided there are upward gradients into the landfill site, any contaminants within the landfill site will not move down through the clay and into the aquifer. They will stay up in the landfill site. And that's the basis of the design of the landfill. And it's one of the criteria in the certificate of approval, and those gradients have to be maintained in perpetuity. That's just one of the conditions.
Sir, did your firm not state that we should expect better groundwater quality as a result of site 41 going in because of routine and agricultural practices? And so how can we believe what you're telling us when we were told by your report that we would expect better groundwater quality as a result of site 41 going ahead?
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that quote.
It was in the peer reviews. It's identified by the Ministry of the Environment that it was not accurate. So,
you know what? I really hate people who block the progress of meetings. And I don't want to be one of them. I want to get past
I think that if we don't get agreement, that we're going to have a dialogue here, we should leave.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
Trying to explain again, this is supposed to be a public information meeting.
Q&A.
It was a question and answer.
In that case, okay.
How can you believe anything that Abraham said when they won't release the calibrated map?
Nothing to do but come here and complain. And that's a lot of crap. We know what's going on. What about this water that's bubbling up now and is full of sand? So you said that this water will work its way up through the clay and come up, and it's doing it, it's coming up. Where's the bottles of sand water? There's bottles of water in here full of sand. One guy's dog won't even drink the water now. So,
Chairman, would you please invite the people back and tell them that they can finally have a chance to speak? Why are you going to parade?
Yes, sir.
drinking water.
Okay,
You can watch your dumping.
We were told this was a question and answer period, so
That's
you
right.
misled
Where's
us.
our answers?
That's
Okay.
what we were told at Barrie City Council last night. It was a Q&A.
Right.
We've got all this information. We want a question and answer period.
Your presentation will take up the full 2 hours. We're not going to have any opportunity to ask any
we're
questions.
not going to take up the full 2 hours of presentations, and I can make
At
sure.
this rate, it seems to be.
With the bullshit.
Watch your ready. People have a lot of questions. Why don't you get them?
Why don't
Tell us what we want to know.
Answer our
We,
question.
as citizens of Simcoe County, have been quite nicely educated. In National Law, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars sending us all this information. We have all listened to these experts. Mr. Jim, we haven't. We haven't listened to Mr. Doug. All of this information is a duplicate of what we've already heard. And as Mr. Gibbs was speaking, I'm there going, yeah, you're not telling the whole story. Yeah, you're not telling the whole story. There's no way that we'll ever have enough time to ask enough questions in an hour to have these answers.
I'm fully prepared to acknowledge that. You know, I didn't know about this issue a week ago. So I'm a pure facilitator.
Who's paying you?
Are you so inflexible that you can't change the program?
Let me suggest this, because I really don't want to take up our time talking about how we're going to talk about things. I really would like to see us move as soon as possible
Let's just go to questions then.
a real question and
We
answer.
need answers. We need answers.
Let me try something really democratic, and I realize that there's a lot of people outside that we can't see.
Don't talk about democracy.
I've been given what the county things are 5 key questions.
Let the people state the question for a change. They state the wrong question and give misleading answers. That's why everybody's concerned.
And that's
Let
what-
them state the question and state some statements, and then we'll have a real period.
If you allow me to speak, I was going to
You're
suggest...
using up time every moment.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to suggest 2 things. One is that the people making the presentation should abbreviate them. That is, cut them in about half if they can. If you've heard this information before, you don't need to hear it again.
Yes,
Clear.
yes.
That's one.
We know it all.
The other is, if I've got 5 brief questions that these people are primed to answer.
We don't want to answer the time to answer. We want to answer the excuse to answer. That's why.
I'm going to read those questions really quickly, and I'm going to ask you, do you want me to ask these questions? You can put your hands up, and if you say no, then you can ask your own questions and not filter through me. Okay? So we'll make our presentations as brief as we can. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read these 5 questions now, and I'm going to say, do you want me to ask these questions?
Why are you taking time with this?
Because you keep talking to me and interrupting. Okay, let me read these 5 questions, and I'll say, do you want me to ask them, or do you want to ask your own questions? Yes or no? Okay? 1, why build a landfill over the Alliston Aquifer?
No.
No.
Okay. 2, what's wrong with waiting? What's wrong with the moratorium?
Nothing.
Anyone ask that question? Okay. What risk is there to the water? Anybody?
No.
I'd like you, I don't just, I want to be careful here. Could you put up your hands because there's, okay, so far the 3 questions I've asked, who wants answers to them? Who wants me to ask them? Okay, please let me finish. I've got 2 more. I'm going to try to keep the public part of this meeting as large as possible. Okay? Question 4, why won't the county release the mod flow?
Oh, yeah.
You want to ask it already. You've answered it already with nonsense.
We don't want to know why.
Okay, fair enough.
The truth.
I think what it comes down to is, rather than me ask any questions at all, I will simply ensure that you have a chance to ask the questions in as effective a way as possible. And that's all I can do. Now, I'm not going to waste anybody's time with these questions. I'm going to ask the presenters to abbreviate the presentations. It was...
I just want to point out to the people. I represent the Council of Canadians. We have endeavored to encourage the council to have a democratic debate about the future of Site 41, which is long overdue. Maud Barlow has written to the council, urging the council to do precisely that, and putting forward a motion for a moratorium. In response to that, and her specific request to make a deputation to council later today or tomorrow on that proposal, she was invited to participate in this session in order to make her concerns about the site public and known. Every attempt to discover how this was going to be organized, how much time she would have to make the presentation, what rights of participation others here who have been seeking them for so long and been frustrated in their efforts to do so would be given, were ignored. So we appear today only to discover that precisely what we're concerned about, which is you explaining the rationale for a site which no one has any confidence in here and wants to be able to share their concerns with members of council about, is being frustrated by this reiteration of the old story over and over again, which most people here understand
Then let me do 2
and
things.
want to comment on. The absence of councillors in the room. The absence of councillors in the room is also a great concern for us.
Well, let me answer
section
this,
is not a
please.
substitute.
You're making a speech at this point.
Yeah,
This is
this
not
section is not a
If
substitute
you could...
for the democratic debate
Okay.
that is being sought by the community about
Let me
this
answer
site.
this. This is a...
brainwashed.
engineers